Hello, how are you? This is JilliBling. I have a project using a new celebration stamp set, and because this is in effect, I can show you in here. It is for $100 purchase or more, you get this for free. Beautifully Happy. And this just started yesterday. Today is January 6th, and this started January 5th. But you could get designer paper for free. You could get words, sending support for free. More designer paper. I think this is the owl page. The owls and the carrots, thanks a bunch. But there's all kinds of things you could get for free from here. And of course, the mini catalog is in effect. So this will perfectly fit in an envelope, a little bit more narrow, but look what it does. Isn't that cool? And on the back, just a fun, simple, I mean, you can make a lot of these really fast and just put thinking of you or sending happy thoughts. That could be for any occasion. This one, I was thinking of my dear friend Carrie. She had a stroke and she has to have surgery. So I want to make this for her. For a feel better kind of day. She needs a feel better kind of week. I don't know how long it's going to take for her to recoup from this, but my heart is with her right now. So this here, if you're looking at it thinking, oh my gosh, coloring. Not with two-step stamping. We'll stamp the outside in Memento Black. And then these pieces here, you stamp right over the top and they color it in. But you know I can't do anything easy. Notice how there's two different colors on there, and there are two different yellows. I use daubers to color that, and I'll show you how to do that today. And then the same with the back. And then of course heat embossing. So this is today's project, and this came from, I think this was in New Orleans at Backstage, and Olivia Trijo, we swapped together. And she gave me this card, so this is where this comes from. Very different. Both of them are very cute. Oh, and I made one other one. Let me show you that. What do you think? But I colored this one with the blends, and I had a good time coloring it. And I used the other side of the paper. So one side is this kind of zigzag, and then there's this a little bit busier pattern. And at first I thought it's definitely going to be this, but I'm really liking this darker green, because what does your eye see? If you receive this card, you see the flower, you see the sentiment, and this definitely goes with, but I think it makes your eye go more to the flower more than anything. I was even thinking about putting some of these little freckles on here, and I thought, you know what? I'm not going to disturb it. Oh, those are the colors. I used Heather, Apple, Olive Dark, and Daffodil Light. And then just a little on the back. So I want to do another one today using two-step stamping, but in different pinks. Blushing Bright and Melon Mambo. Okay. So this is for the words. What words should go on here? How about thank you and kindness matters? I've used all the other ones. So let's just do that while we're thinking about it. So on here, in Versamark is going to be thank you. Well, that's the two that I haven't used yet. And if ever you have a choice of, well, what size block should I put it on a little bit bigger. It just makes it easier to work with. Because if you had it on a terrible, tiny block, you have a hard time viewing through the angles of the block. Where if it's on a big block, it's just a straight shot down, it's all clear. Okay, Versamark. Oh, and what kind of label? This one is just flat. I kind of like the bannered one. Let's do a bannered one. It's really tight, but that's good because then I don't have to trim it. Okay, and should we do gold or silver? With pink, how about gold? You know, when doing the metallics on colored paper, it's like it's almost too faint, but then again, that makes your eye go to the flower. So even if it is a little bit faint, you could still read it, which is the goal. Okay, so these are smaller words. So we can do a little bit in there, then from one edge to the other edge. Okay, same thing over here. Okay, banner done. Okay, and this is for the flower. The flower is done in Memento. It's a brand new pad. I just took the plastic off of it. Pretty. Okay. And then, unfortunately, there's no dies for this. So I cut it out. Okay, what else do we have? We need to score the paper. So the scoring is, I'm going to write this down. I have it right here. The scoring is at 1 3/4, then at 3, then flip it over and repeat. Flip over, repeat. Okay. Okay, 1 3/4, and before I just fold it, I'm looking at the top and the bottom. Once they're straight, then I'll move on to the next section. And then it's easy to flip the fold the other direction to have the card do what we want the card to do, but at least this way it's straight. So for the card, this is going to be the top. Tuck in, tuck in. I don't know if those are supposed to be touching or not. If they are, I'm really off. But because it's on the back, I don't think it matters. Yeah, those are touching. It's probably because I was leaning over in my chair. Yeah, there's a bit of a gap, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I think we're done with the folding. So let's just start putting some of this together. Liquid glue lately is my friend. You know, I'm liking that. This is a little pastel, which is nice. But because we're going to do two-step stamping, I'm going to use this side. Who knew? I expected the exact opposite. I had all the paper cut. And I like the other side. I could say I planned that, but not really. Happy accident. So just a little border, and I'll put all the paper cut sizes on my blog in a few days. And my blog is JilliBling.com. I save up all my stuff for blogging. And then it takes a whole day. And it's like, oh my gosh. Just like that. And sometimes I like using liquid glue more than my Stampin' Seal, just because it makes the card stiff, and especially on a funfold card where it could be really flimsy, but the glue, I mean, this is, I could put a book on there. I mean, it's sturdy, and I like that. I like it. My daughter is a vegan, and she wants nothing to do with gelatin, nothing to do with glue, because I guess they use animal products. Or she tells me that they do. And I believe her. Okay, so let's get to stamping that pretty flower in pinks. So these pieces are going to go on the back. These will go on the front. The little label will go somewhere. Thank you. Kindness matters. That's good. So Tonia's gone, and the dog is pouting. He has been outside all day. It is almost 9 o'clock, and he still hasn't come in. Usually he can't wait to get in, and he's just sitting out there waiting. It's kind of sad. So I expect him to come in. I'm missing the dog. Okay, Blushing Bride on the flower. Then brand new dauber. Dauber, and I'm going to put it on the white paper because I could see through the stamp and see how much. Ooh, that's a lot. How much Melon Mumbo I'm putting on there. And I don't want to see the dauber circle. So I'm hoping to kind of, maybe it will just be just a stunning card. Stunning flowers, you never know. I'm trying to soften it so it's just not a circle. Okay, here we go. Boy, that got a lot of ink on it. So this perfectly lines up. Two-step stamping is always fun. Okay, let's see how it looks. Are your fingers crossed? Well, that's kind of cool. A little bit different than I was thinking. The Blushing Bride is almost in the peachy color. Okay, so let's do the green. The green, I'm going to do it in Pear Pizzazz and Shaded Spruce. And I was doing that more to match the blue tones in here. And I'm not even using that paper. Let's hope it works out. I'm sure it will. Pear Pizzazz, Shaded Spruce. I always somehow have this backwards, Shaded Spruce. But on here, I even know whatever language this is, Sapin Ombrage. Of course, Shaded Spruce. Of course. Okay. So, I need leaves. Pear Pizzazz, Sapin Ombrage. So now this needs to be equally, bang, wow, look at that color, because that Melon Mambo, that sure came out. Two-step stamping is nice. Look at that. It's like coloring without the coloring. Isn't that cool? Okay, and all these little dots are to fill in all that. And because these are so small, I just want to make sure that the shaded spruce is represented. I'm not going to try to get the bottom of each of those little berries. Look at that! It's colored. Okay, so what should I do on the back? Should I do the big thing or should I do the little single flower? I have to do the center, and there is a dot for that. Early Espresso Stamp On. It is this one. So in the stamp set, this little pine cone looking one and this little dot, the little dot goes in here. The pine cone looking one goes in the little flower. But I'm going to stamp it off because otherwise it would be that dark, too dark. Okay. So that flower is done. I think we could do, oh, almost. We can do the front. Isn't that pretty in the pink? Well, I like pink. No. Keep putting it here. What do you think? Does it cover up too much? And I want to put a bow on. I'll get the bow. Linen thread. I use so much linen thread. Like a lot of linen thread. If anyone wants to do a double bow, let me know in the comments. I'll send you the, or you could scroll back through the videos. It's like the 5th video I ever did, right when COVID started. Because everyone keeps asking me, how do you do that? And I did a video. I go real slow. And I'll tell you, you think you have it, and then you don't use it for a while, and then you have to watch it again. You have to sit in your chair and make like 30 double bows, and then your fingers just know how to do it. Little double bow. Maybe this could be hanging from it. Hang on this side. What do you think? Okay, so the freckles. See these freckles? A few freckles on here. Let's do freckles in gold. Okay. Gold freckles. Freckle stamp, Versamark. I don't know. I'm going to have them a little bit low so the flowers cover them up. Just to, so that it's like it's peeking out. It's flower mist. That might be too low though. Then I'll do the same down here. Okay, and I think I did those too low, so just a little bit more. Okay. And into the gold, That's all that's stamped on here is freckles. 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 The heat warps my paper. The glue will make it straight. Smiley. Do you ever do stuff like that? Nobody will ever see it. Pear Pizzazz and Old Olive. What a great combo. One time Carolyn said to me, she said, you know in the blends that light olive is Pear Pizzazz? I'm like, what are you talking about? Then I realized she's right. Okay, so let's put the front together. Oh, and this is going to be hanging off. Okay, so dimensionals. A few days ago I made another card using this stamp set, and it was using I think it's called Fancy Frames dies, and it came out so pretty. I think I have it handy. Let me see if I could grab it. Right in the middle. Isn't that beautiful? Look how pretty. Fancy Frame dies. New dragonflies in the mini catalog. Ah, oh, pretty, pretty. Okay, so this is going to go here, and the tag is going to hang like it's connected to. Probably shouldn't have done that kind of flag, but that's okay. That could go all just like that. Okay, so liquid glue here, dimensional there. I like that end, that tip. Well, okay, and then double bow goes on with funky old glue dot. This glue dot is from some kit. Oh, that's cute. And I always fear it's going to come off, so got to seal it in place, and that will dry clear. As I put it on, I realized I had to flip the card over to put the back together. I'll find a way. Okay, so looks good. So on the back, I'm supposed to be thinking about what to put on here. So on this one, that looks good, how it's just half of it. That one has a little flower. I think I like this one better. And I embossed that. Okay, so on here, do the embossing first. And I say that because this one, I did the flower, 2-step Stampin', and then I did these dots. And my embossing powder stuck to the wet ink from the yellow flower and the green. Okay, so I'm going to do the big one in black and just half of it. Ooh, a new pad. Gotta love it. Oh, emboss first. Whew. Good thing I caught that. And I have the perfect words. Because this one says thank you. Something to kindness. Kindness matters. Right there. Okay. That goes into the gold powder. Oop. Hopefully I didn't smear it. Nope, looks good. Okay, now the flower. Half the flower. Okay, and a little bit more of this fun stuff. And you know what? I think there's probably enough ink on the dauber. Blushing Bride. Oh, that comes out just so strong. The closer you get, the more in focus. It's not perfect. I went outside the line a little. Don't tell anyone. Okay, and then the greens. Shaded Spruce and Pear Pizzazz. Shaded Spruce. Oh no, Pear Pizzazz and Shaded Spruce. Ding. Okay, and then the next group, Pear Pizzazz, Shaded Spruce, and Random Spots. Pretty. And finally, the little Early Espresso dot. Stamp off. Stamp off. Dot. Okay, we are done stamping. And I could put the little dots on here, but I'm trying to... The last card I did, the gnomes, boy, I got carried away. There's a lot going on there. So I'm trying to make one a little less less busy. Oh, that looks nice. Hold it there a little longer because the heat embossing made the paper warp. And I see a little gap right there. Oh, and I had to worry about, I put glue on the front of it. Okay. Smile. Kindness matters. It does matter. Dimensional. Won't stick there. Okay. Well, that is it for today's project. Funfold. Isn't that fun? Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.